The Dark Realm.
(11:23 p.m.) Detective Mark Sanchez, case file in hand, walks hurriedly towards the interview room. Wearied yet alert, he is eager to speak with a potential witness in the ongoing case of the ever-elusive Cupid, a prolific serial killer who has, thus far, claimed 11 victims. Stopping at a coffee machine, he takes out his wallet and stares pensively at a photo of his wife, Gloria, seated before a meadow with their 8-year-old daughter, Abby.
Why can't you let someone else take your place?
Oh, we've been over this. How many times do I have to tell you?
Abby misses her daddy.
If we don't hurry and catch him, more people are going to die.
Night after night you're at that precinct. And the times you're home, all you talk about is Cupid.
I'm doing this for both of you.
You have a life here too, Mark.
Daddy,
Oh. Hey, sweetie.
are you coming to my ballet recital?
Sorry, baby. I can't.
Why not?
Remember when Daddy told you that his job is to stop the bad guys? Well, there's a very bad man hurting people, and I have to work to stop him. Even though I can't be at the recital, Mommy will record it for me, so I'll still be able to see you dance.
Sighing, he takes his coffee and heads to the interrogation room to speak with a possible witness. In the small, otherwise empty room, there is a table and 2 plastic chairs on the far end of the room, and in the corner above the door is a camera. The witness, a Caucasian male, in his late 30s, early 40s, sits in the chair closest to the corner. His expression is blank. He is dressed in a button-up shirt, slacks, and boat shoes. He sits unmoving, perfect posture, his hands resting on his knees. His thin-rimmed glasses glinting as only his head moves, tracking Mark as he takes a seat.
Hello, I'm Detective Sanchez. Thank you for coming in to speak with us, sir. As I understand it, you wish for your name to remain anonymous?
Names. Such banal labels. Merely icing on a cake. They do nothing to tell us who a person really is. The natives gave their children more descriptive names, multiple names throughout their lives which best described what they were like. Our actions, detective. Those are what truly define us.
Mark suppresses a smirk as he leans forward on the table, lacing his fingers.
Okay. Anyway, you have information about Cupid?
Cupid?
Yes, that's what the media has taken to calling him. Because of the hearts. A twisted sort of irony.
Ah, the hearts. Yeah.
The witness leans back with a nod of realization. He fishes something out of his pocket and holds it up to Mark. It's an unopened pack of cigarettes.
Would you mind terribly if I smoke?
No.
Mark shakes his head as he slides the ashtray in front of the witness. There is a minute, almost imperceptible tremble in his hands, although the rest of him is as calm as a pond on a windless day. The witness pockets the matchbook and cigarette pack.
Any thoughts on why Cupid does it?
Well, we were hoping you could help us with that question. Isn't that why you wanted to talk with me?
Oh, I was only musing a bit. Seems like such a savage act, no?
Not to me.
The witness, seeming somewhat surprised by Mark's answer, stops mid-puff. His eyebrows give the tiniest of twitches.
Oh?
It seems ritualistic. He's killed 11 people, no signs of brutality on any of the victims. No other wounds besides the one around the heart. I'd say Cupid is methodical, purposeful in these murders. All premeditated.
Murders, detective? What murders? These souls, these victims, as you call them, were no victims of any murder. They were victims of a loveless world. Such Beautiful, lonely souls bound to their corporeal prisons. This mortal coil, only to have their cries of anguish go unheard by those who claim to be loving, who claim to value life, those who turn a blind eye to the suffering of others. No, they weren't murdered. Cupid liberated them from their prisons into the arms of the all-loving God.
Mark sits up, placing his cup a bit too forcefully back on the table. Disgusted, he opens the file and pulls out some photos, turning them in front of the witness.
You call this an act of love?
They are crime scene photos of bodies with their chests cut open with surgical precision.
Their hearts were cut out and eaten.
Moving only his eyes, he gives a cursory glance down at the photos, his cigarette hovering before his mouth momentarily. Unfazed, he takes a slow drag as he looks back into the detective's eyes.
Perhaps their hearts are now united, no longer isolated, no longer lonely.
He takes a moment to tap his ashes into the ashtray.
You seem bewildered, detective. It's quite simple. Under your laws, killing for ill intent is considered murder. However, killing in self-defense or in defense of another is permitted. Soldiers are allowed to kill on the battlefield. Policemen, such as yourself, do it almost daily to save lives. Well, what of saving the unfulfilled life? What of sparing a lonely soul the torment of a meaningless existence? No one loves more than God.
He rolls his head back ecstatically with his eyes closed, his features lustful as he takes a deep shuddered breath. He raises his hands, palms skyward, as if in praise.
Into his loving arms, those souls were delivered. Nary, is there any higher act of love, detective?
Do you believe that Cupid wants to turn himself in?
I believe that Cupid wants you to understand. Understand and hope that someday people won't take their loved ones for granted, won't ignore the lonely souls. Hope that your hearts will become more charitable.
Cupid is hurting people, not just the victims, but their loved ones as well. He doesn't get to decide who lives and who dies. That's God's job. Thou shalt not kill. He believes himself to be benevolent, but what he's doing is sinful.
A mild look of disappointment cracks on the witness's face as his shoulders sink.
Yes, that is Cupid's burden to bear. And like the Messiah bleeding upon the cross, Cupid is a willing sacrifice for the world. Now that is the highest act of love, detective.
So, he thinks himself Jesus now?
It is our toil in life to do what we must for the greater good, is it not?
He puts out his cigarette, slides the ashtray to the side, and gracefully returns his hands to his knees as he sits like a statue once more.
Take yourself for example, detective. Day after day, night after night, you toil away, working tirelessly on this case for months that you even missed Abby's ballet recital.
What did you just say?
Oh, you should have seen her. So beautiful, so graceful, like a tiny angel. Yet her eyes, her lonely, lonely eyes, the pang of paternal neglect shone upon them like a beacon to wayward ships. Ah, destiny.
Furious, Mark snatches him up out of the chair by his lapel, pulling him close.
You son of a bitch! You better not have missed her, Daddy. Why? Why weren't you there for her, detective? What did you do?
Mark slams the witness onto the floor, ready to tear his head off.
What did you do?
He emphasizes each word with a punch. Two detectives burst into the room to pull Mark off the witness. They tug at his arms, but his burning hot rage welds his hands on tight. The witness's eyes slide away from Mark's.
She needed a friend, someone to be there. So, because of you, Cupid was there for her. Her heart aches no more.
The detectives manage to pry Mark's hands away as they struggle to hold him back.
You're dead. I'll kill you, you sick son of a bitch! Why are you still here with me, detective? Tell me, when was the last time you were there for your family?
All fight leaves Mark as he ceases his struggle and bolts from the room. The witness straightens his clothes as the two other detectives turn back to him, the door closing behind them.
So you survived the dark realm and made it out alive. Now we invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And toll that bell, for it's more than it seems. Until next time, minions, good fright and sweet screams.